Straight like that, man. Welcome to another episode of the Ultimate 216 Show. I'm your boy, Earl of Pearl. That's Cecil Shorts. And y'all know the vibes. If you woke up this morning, you already won. I hope you are doing something right now that your future self will thank you for. Cecil, what's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. On the road to this JV game,
Time to play
hustling
some
and bustling.
football.
Yeah, man. So
Who
I'm
y'all
good.
playing?
We got a team called Pearland today. Really good physical football team. So their varsity is really good. So I'm assuming their JV will be pretty good too. So it's exciting.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, good luck to y'all on the game tonight. Hopefully, y'all get the dub. We got a lot to get into. We don't got a lot of time to get into it. Darius Garland may make his season debut tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. My man right there made it to the Hall of Fame. We got to talk about that before we get out of here. And Kevin Stefanski spoke to the media today. We'll get into all of that. But first, let's hear from our sponsor from today's show, FanDuel. FanDuel, listen, the NFL season is here. The NBA season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get 300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you will unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It makes watching football even more exciting when you got a little something riding on the action. So, what are you waiting for? Visit fanduel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get started on the fun. Shout out to FanDuel. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show as well. Make sure you stay in the know with this show, the rest of our spinoff shows, the Ultimate Brown Show, Ultimate Cavs, Ultimate Guardians, and Ultimate Buckeyes. All right, man, let's get into it. So the Cleveland Browns is back from the bye week this week, man. We travel on the road to New York to take on the New York Jets in the Meadowlands. Trade deadline was yesterday, man. The Jets pretty much just they had a fire sale. Anybody that was a key player, they traded them away, and they got a boatload of first-round picks to play with in the future. Before we talk about what Kevin had to say today, what was your thoughts behind what the Jets did yesterday?
It was interesting. It was interesting. I didn't necessarily see that coming because those are pieces that they drafted and recently paid to be key pieces for the future. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They got a boatload back. Like I was surprised by the Sauce Gardner trade. You got what, 2 first-round picks and a receiver. AD Mitchell was pretty good. A lot of
Yeah.
potential there. And he pairs well with Gary Wilson, and then Quentin Williams threw me off. Like he a 3-time Pro Bowler, somebody that can make plays consistently, stop the run, and then they went out and got somebody else. So it was interesting. But they're loading up for the future. They must love the draft coming up. They must love the opportunities they're gonna get with that because you got power when you got draft picks. You can make moves. You can trade for players, the whole nine. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Like you load up on multiple draft picks for this year's draft, next year's draft, and it sounds like the Jets is kind of mapping out the blueprint that me and you talked about that we hope the Browns will map out. Put yourself in a situation so you get 2 picks in 2027 where that's a loaded draft class with defensive linemen, wide receivers, the quarterback class in 2027. Depending on who you talk to, some think it's a little bit better than with the class that's coming out in 2026. And then we all know, like, the prize possession, at least right now, in that draft is Jeremiah Smith. So
Yes,
if they was able to
sir.
take a quarterback this year and, I don't know, get them another offensive lineman or defensive lineman this year, and then you talk about adding a Jeremiah Smith to pair with a Garrett Wilson next year, I don't know, man. The Jets seem like they got a plan, but they have been at the bottom of the barrel like the Cleveland Browns as far as being able to produce with the talent that they acquire. You know, you look at the Jets roster before they made all these moves, and they have built that thing up pretty nice through the draft. It just didn't, come with the results. And to me, that's one of those situations to where, okay, you got the talent, the coaching just didn't come through. Speaking of the Jets, we don't know who we will be facing as far as the quarterback. Will it be Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields? Here's what Kevin Stefanski had to say during this press conference today on that matter. Don't forget, all this audio, all this video is courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. Take a look at take a listen, Cecil, to what Kevin had to say about the Jets starting quarterback situation and how the Browns need to prepare.
Yeah, obviously 2 different players, but they're both good in their own right. I mean, Justin Fields is extremely dangerous. Very, very, very fast. They do a great job in the run game. He's a threat to make all the throws with his arm strength in the pass game, and then he can tuck it and run, as you've seen throughout this season. He's made some huge plays with his legs. Obviously, Tyrod's a veteran that knows what to do with the football, very accurate, good athlete, can make you miss, obviously, as he moves outside the pocket, but a veteran that really operates well.
So let me ask you, as somebody that's been inside those locker rooms, when you are a team and you're getting prepared for your opponent and you're not sure, the quarterback that's going to roll out there, how does a head coach go about putting together a game plan?
It's tough. It is tough. You have to prepare for both. And you got an inkling of what's going to happen, right? And you're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen throughout the week. But this situation, I think, is unique because Justin was benched because it wasn't playing well. And then Tyrod got hurt, so he was forced to play the next week and played pretty well. And I think they ended up winning, or he played well or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see. You have to prepare for both. The good thing about this type of quarterback situation, they're both athletic. They're both very similar, right? So they both can move the ball with their feet. Even though Tyrod's older, he's still one heck of an athlete. Me and him came out together in 2011 when he came out of Virginia Tech. And he's still one heck of an athlete. And I'd rather see Justin Fields just because I trust that Tyrod Taylor's going to make the better decision. Him being a veteran guy.
You think
right?
Tyrod is the better quarterback between the two?
I do right now. I do.
Yeah.
I do. This consistently, right? I think Justin can get better. I'm a big Justin fan, but I think he's the better of the guys that we can be possibly playing. And I think when you got to prepare for both guys, it's easier when they're both kind of similar, which is what Tyrod and Justin are. It's hard when you got one pocket guy and you got one mobile guy. So now it's like the game plan is basically two different things that you got to prepare for. Where it kind of, with Tyrod and them, it's kind of going to be a similar game plan.
All right, so moving on to the Cleveland Browns. So this next quote that we're going to play, I thought was quite interesting, and it came from one Tony Grossi. You normally don't see me putting anything in the show that really had too much to do with Tony Grossi, but he asked about Dillon Gabriel's height, and I want you to listen to the question that was asked and how he answered it, Cecil, and I am curious to know your instant reaction to what Kevin Stefanski had to say. Take a listen.
At the time of the draft, both you and Andrew said of Dillon Gabriel that his height that didn't show up on college game film. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's showing up now? I mean, his inability to get the ball to the receivers.
Yeah, I understand the question, Tony, but I would not characterize it that way. We need to play better as an offense. Certainly, there's areas to improve for a young quarterback, but it's really on all of us to improve.
So if y'all didn't hear that, Tony Grossi asked him basically Dillon Gabriel's height did not show up on the film. On the college tape, and that was something that made Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski comfortable drafting him. But it showed up on that NFL film more often than not. Kevin said, and I quote, "I would not characterize it that way," meaning that his height showing up on tape is an issue, and that basically as a totality, the offense needs to play better. What was your initial thoughts to that?
First of all, Tony's messy. He is messy. He gonna ask the questions to get a reaction from the coach, and Kevin did a good job of keeping his cool, right? But I like how he defends his player, but the truth is what the truth is. Like Dillon's limited, and his height is one of the issues. And it's not that he can't play on time, because there's been similar guys that's been the height and stature that can play well. It's just his style of play and what he can do. And where he's not at yet, he's going to struggle. And when you're a limited when it comes to height for quarterbacks, you have to find the lanes in between the offensive line, right? The lane, because you can't throw over nobody. You can't see over nobody. You have to anticipate very well. You have to be on time. And I'm just not sure he's there yet, especially going down the field. When it comes to quick game, he can do that pretty well. But when it comes to consistently going down the field 10 yards or more and being able to see through the lanes and be able to get timing down and really push through his throws and be confident throwing them, he is not doing that at a high level at all, not even close. So to me, that height definitely is a thing. Is it a huge thing? Like better than, to me, it's a lot more to it. But the height question is even though it's messy, it's a legitimate thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he performs coming out of the bye week, especially with Tommy Rees calling the plays. We'll get into that next clip next when Daniel Oyefusi asks a great question about that. But, I'm looking at Dillon right now, and I told you from jump, man, like the eye on him was a little bit stronger because this is Kevin Stefanski's handpicked guy. This was the first time that we believe since he's been the head coach of this team, he had the opportunity to pick his quarterback. And based on everything that was written and said about Dillon Gabriel before the season started, marry that with the fact that Kevin believed he could get even more out of him. I expected to see more. It's been disappointing through the first 4 games. I believe that he is a spot start backup quarterback in this NFL at best. I do think he's highly intelligent, and I think that in the future, when his playing days is over, that he will make a good quarterback coach, a good offensive coordinator, or who knows, maybe even a good head coach one day. Now, we mentioned this week coming off the bye, it's going to look a little bit different. Tommy Rees will be the one calling the plays. Kevin Stefanski talked about giving him pretty much a lot of latitude to come up with the game plan. But he did talk about, when you have a rookie play caller, there's a certain package that's already in place. Take a look at what he had to say about the latitude range for one Tommy Rees when it comes to his first game as the Cleveland Browns play caller.
With Tommy obviously now taking over play calling duties, in terms of the game plan, does he get more latitude in terms of, does that change?
Yeah, I do think it's important with a play caller that you have a call sheet of plays that you're really comfortable with. So certainly this week, making sure Tommy's got the quote-unquote final say. I'm letting him kind of put this thing together. Obviously, I'm helping and making my suggestions, but I want him to feel comfortable and confident with what's on that call sheet.
So for me, this is what I took from that, right? And shout out to Daryl Ryder because he kind of put this thought on my mind as well when I was riding, listening to the radio on my way home. But, at this point of the season, 2-6, mathematically, the Cleveland Browns are not eliminated. But, this is a bad season, and there's not a lot of hope and faith that things are going to get better than what they are right now. And so right now you're assessing everything, you're evaluating everything, and everything is about growth, development, and seeing what you have for the future. And we have to kind of take into consideration that growth and development is not going to just boil down to what happens on the football field with the players. But Tommy Rees is a guy who, this could be a situation to where Kev is handing this thing off so that he can get some reps as a play caller because he's been touted as a young offensive mind coming from the college ranks that a lot of NFL teams believe in. And so it'd be interesting to see what his growth and development looks like, what his first game as the play caller looks like. I don't know what to expect, if I'm being totally honest with you, bro. Like I seen FanDuel's over-under for this game set at 36.5. I understand that the New York Jets have made all these different type of moves, but I kind of got to see it all before I believe any of it. I don't know if the offense is going to look like vastly different all of a sudden because we got a different play caller. I think the scheme is the scheme, and you can speak to this more than me. You can't really just change up what your philosophy is and what your scheme is mid-season when you've been installing this, since OTA. So what's your thoughts on what it's going to look like, what it possibly can go down when you got a rookie play caller out there for the first time?
Well, a rookie play caller matched with a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? And a rookie quarterback that has showed a lot of limitations as well, right? So, and you said you hit the nail on the head. During the year, I don't know much change you will see from what the offense was called like with Kevin and with how's it going to be with Rees, right? It's going to be a lot of similarities. It's just maybe there'll be some intricacies that's more different, right? That could be different between the two. But you can't just up and change the entire offense, the entire play calling, the entire terminology, what the identity of the offense is just up in 1 week in the bye week. So a lot of it is going to be the same. Now, it may be different calls throughout the playbook because the playbook is so thick and so complicated at times, right? Any NFL playbook is. But it's going to be a lot of the same stuff. And I think this is good for the new OC to get his feet wet, to really see what he can do. But at the same time, I feel like he's handcuffed. I feel like he can only do so much, right? Especially with a guy at the quarterback. And that's not a knock on Dillon, but when you have a rookie that's shown limitations and an offense that you don't have a lot of weapons on the outside, there's only so much you can do. So I'm interested to see how creative he can be, because he can't be creative. He can't add some style to it. He can't add a stand to his thing, right? But the basic offense, what we'll see, will be still Kevin Stefanski's offense. It just will have a little wrinkle here and there from the new guy in charge.
Y'all let us know what y'all think, man. Hit us up in the chat, man. Do you think changing offensive coordinators will spark the Cleveland Browns offense and one Dillon Gabriel, or is it going to be the same old, same old? Don't forget, like, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Use this QR code right here, man, to get in. We are almost at 75,000 subscribers. Shout out to each and every single one of you, man, who support the flagship show as well as the spinoff shows, man. Don't forget, like, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Moving on, brother, into other news, man. The Cleveland Cavaliers got a game tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers, man. They debuted the 2010 throwback blue jerseys that the one LeBron James once wore back when me and you was young adults. You see the line there, 9.5-point favorites. I think that has moved to 10.5 since this graphic was made, over under at 233.5. First things first, the Cavs rocking those jerseys, man. What type of nostalgia come back for you with those?
Man, those what we grew up on. Like
Yeah.
those are what we remember. Those were the days where LeBron was in his prime. we were rolling and we were playing well. So I have I have that navy blue jersey with the red lettering, or the wine, I should say the wine lettering. So it's gonna be fun to see them bring that back. It's gonna be fun to be tuned into that and see how it rolls.
Yeah, man. Speaking of being reasons to tune in and for it to be fun, there are a lot of reports out there that's almost confirming that Darius Garland will make his season debut tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Of course, he had toe surgery back in June. All reports leading up into the start of the season was he was looking good early on in camp, that the recovery process was ahead of schedule. He's competed in a whole bunch of different 5-on-5 pickup games. He was down in the G League with the Charge doing some scrimmaging, kind of getting himself together. The last couple games that we had at home, I was in attendance in. He did come out there and do some shoot around and warming up. And from what my eyes saw, he could have played on both those nights if it was up to him. And so it'll be exciting to get him back. I think the Cavs desperately need him back. You'll get Donovan Mitchell off the ball, and I think it does a lot for the floor spacing and the creativity when it comes to guys like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter. And then we all know, man, just the playmaking and the shot creating ability that he has. It's going to be exciting to see Darius Garland back out there.
Definitely excited to see him back out there, get going. For me, I'm just a tad bit nervous because a toe injury is something that in basketball you're on your feet all the time. So I'm hoping, I'm sure they will be very careful with his minutes, very careful with integrating them back in slowly. But to have a playmaker like that out there again that can score at will, like you said, can open the floor, spread the floor, can dish the ball. It's gonna be fun to see a healthy, full Cavaliers team out there, or starting to get a healthy and full Cavaliers team out there tonight.
Yeah, and I believe Sam Merrill will be back as well tonight, which means that we just pretty much waiting on Max Strus to get back. Jared Allen, I don't know what his status is. He's day-to-day with that hand injury. So the Cavs are getting healthier. And, the Cavs, as far as Donovan Mitchell and Kenny Atkinson and pretty much anybody else that you have spoken to, they've talked about the process, right? Some fans has kind of hit the panic button. The Cavs don't look as crisp or as sharp as they did at the start of last year, but the circumstances is different. And last season is last season. Through 7 games, we are 4-3. I think the Cavs have been competitive in damn near every game that they've played in, a -1. I can't remember who blew us out. Boston. When we went to Boston and got blew out. Outside of that, we've been really, really competitive in every game. We still lost the rebounding battle the last game, but it was a little bit better than what it has been before. And so as they're tinkering with these different lineups and people are learning how to play with and off different people, like the Cavs are figuring out who they are, going through the growing pains, going through the process. And I trust the fact that once we get healthier and once we kind of get through this phase of growing with this particular group, I think it's going to have a healthy payoff once we get towards the end of the season.
Earl, every year, every team is different. Like, it's so many different pieces that happen, or different, maybe because you want to improve, or maybe because the coach philosophy is different, or maybe because last couple of years you have not gotten to where you want to get to. So with adding different pieces like Alonzo, like others, or that's been kind of out, now they're coming back into the fold, you have to be patient and continue to learn each other. And continue to, like you said, trust the process, and things will be going. There's no reason to panic right now. It's still early. Like you said, you're competitive in every game except for one. You're in every game. Now you're starting to get your playmakers back on the court and back to playing again with each other. It's going to take a little time to build that chemistry up again in a game type speed, but everything would be just fine. Around All-Star break, everybody would calm down. Like, all right, the Cavs are back rolling. Everything will be cool. Probably before then, honestly, but I think everybody will feel real comfortable around the All-Star break.
All right, check out this 4-leg parlay I got for the night. I got Donovan Mitchell, 25 points. You like that?
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Man, you was hesitant. It ain't gonna hit.
I like it.
I got Donovan also for 3 threes made in this game. I got Evan Mobley for 20 points and 8 rebounds. That's the 4-leg.
Okay, that's your boy. You're gonna ride with him no matter what. But I like that. I like the 8 rebounds for sure.
Yeah, I got to. I done bought all this Evan Mobley stock, man. I can't just, go trying to sell it off. So make sure y'all check out the Cavs tonight. Again, man, we rocking on throwback blue jerseys. Game start at 7:00. Again, FanDuel got us 9.5-point favorites. Over under is at 233.5. If you heard that 4-leg FanDuel parlay, make sure you put that in. Also, Mikey McNuggets did a sit down with second-year player Jalen Tyson. Interview was fire as hell. If you have not watched that yet, man, after you get finished watching this episode of the Ultimate 216 Show, make sure you go check that out. Speaking of checking out shows, man, listen, G. Bush is hot in the barbershop. He's hot with the Ultimate Browns. Make sure you check that out. Cavs are in action tonight. Mikey got an overtime show coming from you with the Ultimate Cavs as soon as he get back in from the game tonight. So make sure you check that out. And of course, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Final segment, man. And again, this is all about you, man. We got to pay tribute to you. We got to give you your flowers as you was inducted into the Mount Union Hall of Fame. Let me break this down for y'all, man. So my guy is a part of the 2025 class. Let me give you his career stats there. 4,705 receiving yards, 63 total touchdowns, 2 national championships, 3-time All-AAC, OAC honors, 2009 D3Football.com Offensive Player of the Year, the first ever Mount Union wide receiver to be drafted, of course, drafted in the 4th round by the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2011. Man, how does it feel to be called a Hall of Famer?
It's surreal. It's surreal because you don't go to college to think. Like for me, I wasn't going there thinking I'll be a Hall of Famer. I'm just trying to get on the field and play the game I love. So to have the opportunity to go out there and play, to be around so many great coaches and athletes and players, it was special. And for me, it wasn't just about me getting in. It was my family getting in. It was my teammates getting in because I couldn't do nothing without them. Their support, their love. And I played with some darn good dudes, man. I played with some really good players. I played with some really good coaches. The head coach at Iowa State right now, Matt Campbell, he coached me my freshman year. Head coach at Toledo, Jason Candle, he coached me my 3 years there, right? The defensive coordinator at Toledo. There's so many Division I head coaches now from University of Mount Union that coached me. It's crazy. So many good coaches, so many good players. I was just fortunate to be a part of a really good system, and I love it, man. So to be out there back in Alliance, Ohio, with family, with friends, with teammates, it was special.
And let me ask you, man, just take you back to that senior year of high school. Letters is coming in, decisions need to be made, and me and you have had this conversation before. A lot of our high school classmates, friends, and associates, we all have sidebar conversations. And we kind of felt like, quite honestly, like you was as good or better than the people that was down the street at Glenville. And all of them guys were going D1, or most of them were going to play D1 college football. And here it is. This is where you end up. Just when it came down to it and you're making a selection on schools, just take me through that process that you went through. Like, I'm pretty sure you wanted to play D1 ball, but coming down to like Mount Union being a choice, what went into that?
Well, honestly, I said this before. It was a frustrating process because I did feel like I was just as good as anybody else. Like I wanted a shot, right? And things didn't work out in that way, but it wasn't because of lack of effort. The coaches at my school, my dad and others, they took me and our seniors everywhere across the Midwest. They sent our film here and there, VHS tapes back in the day. VHS and CDs, they sent our film everywhere. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. So that definitely hurt my heart, but also motivated me, gave me a lot of fuel in that fire. And I had some Division II opportunities, but they wanted me to switch positions. And at the time, I was a quarterback in my head. I'm like, I'm only playing quarterback. I ain't playing nothing else. I don't care what nobody say. I'm a quarterback. And Mount Union was being Mount Union. They were dominating at the time. So when they came in the picture, it was like, I can go to a Division III program that's playing a national championship every single year. I got to compete, of course, but they're a winning program. Or I can go to some of the D2 schools that were looking at me, where some of them were mid, or some of them were kind of rebuilding, or just weren't as good, which Mount Union can probably be. So for me, I'm like, I get a chance to play quarterback, and we get to win. Let's just go see how it is, right? And it was me, LaRon, Marshall, Ricardo Rembert, all going to one place. I'm like, man, let's just go together and see what it has for us. And to God be the glory, it worked out in a way that I never thought it would be. You know what I mean? Sometimes the Lord has plans better than you could ever imagine, right? And that's what happened when I went to Mount Union.
So talk about like how like you talk about God's timing, right? And like just alignment and how everything come together. Like at the time that you are taking off and boiling out as a Purple Raider, a former Purple Raider, somebody that you consider as a big bro and an OG is having a lot of success in the NFL with the Colts, one Pierre Garçon. And so I knew just from watching what was going on with him, but also keeping my eyes on you, I was like, hey, this is keep balling, Pierre. Please keep balling, because in my mind, they gonna go thinking, okay, who the hell else is at Mount Union that we need to go look at? Like, talk about that alignment and that relationship that you had with him at the time that he's making noise in the league, and you breaking his records essentially at Mount Union.
Yeah, like I credit a lot of my success to even getting looked at because of him. Like he was able to be drafted, I think, 6th round, my redshirt freshman year, and he was like, "See, if you want to make it, ain't nothing else to do in Alliance, Ohio, but go to school and work out. Like you might as well just put the time in." And I sat behind him for 2 years and watched what he did, and I tried to emulate it. And it was a testament to him how he had a 12-year career. He was outstanding with 3-4 different teams. And because of his success, like you mentioned, Earl, they came back. NFL's a copycat league. They came back like, man, who is this Pierre guy? Where'd he come from? Let's go see who else is who else is at the school balling. And I happen to be going crazy. Like I happen to be having some career years over and over again. And my dad always told me, like, if you're good enough, they'll find you. But you can't just be good. You can't just be, an all-conference player. You can't just be a guy that's, okay, you're a good player. You got to truly dominate. And you truly got to show every Saturday that you don't belong at this level. So I had some crazy goals. Like, there was goals, some games I'm not trying to get tackled. There's some games I'm like, I'm trying to catch 4 or 5 touchdowns on 4 or 5 catches. You know what I mean? It was just, what can I do to separate myself from the competition to prove I don't belong here and get that shot? But a lot of that came honestly from that relationship with Pierre, watching how he worked in school, him taking me under his wing and inviting me down to Colts practice or inviting me to Indianapolis to hang out and just see how the life is down there. And from his success and great coaching, I was able to get an opportunity.
Man, I tell people like all the time, man, like what's for you is for you. And you mentioned your dad, and it's funny because we're grown adults now, but some of the things that Coach Short said when we 17, 18 years old is what we now know is to be blind faith and just really trusting the process. It's really hard to like hear that and take that in at that age. You know what I mean? That like everything gonna be okay, and if you good, they gonna find you. When again, you ain't even got to go 2 miles, and it's like, hey man, you sure? Cause down here, so like, but like I've always like your journey, from Collinwood High School to D3 to having a quality NFL career, like to God be the glory. Like, as we get ready to close this episode, final thoughts, like what would your message be to somebody now, since you are a Hall of Famer that is playing D3 ball, got NFL aspirations, and they kind of doubting if they're gonna get seen?
I would say this: everybody's path of success is different. Never compare your path to somebody else's path. My path looked different than Pierre's path. Your path looked different than somebody else's path, right? It's just everybody's path is different. So stay in your lane, stay motivated, outwork the hard working. Like Lil Wayne had a line back in the day. He was like, "I work harder than the hard working," or whatever it was, right? And that's stuck in my head every single day. Like I'm literally going to outwork people I see and people I don't see, because I'm trying to get the opportunity of a lifetime. So for me to do that, I got to stay ready, stay prepared, the best I can be, and then let God handle the rest, right? I can only control what I can control, but within what I can control, I'm gonna be the best I can be, and I'm gonna be fully prepared, and then from there, let God handle the rest.
There it is, man. Hey, man, this has been another episode of the Ultimate 216 Show, man. Remember, be great, spread love. Remember, being great come with a price, and spread love is priceless. Till next Wednesday for Cecil Shorts, I'm Earl of Pearl.